Debbie Goodman, and I am in Manteca, California. I have been honored by being invited to the Coffee for the Masters. We'll be talking to the founders of Coffee with the Masters today, but we also have a group of about 15 people, and I will be interviewing each one of them individually. We have really been honored. People have come a long distance for this particular show. I was very excited when I was added to the group on Facebook, and they've been talking about it for days, so I thought, I've got to get there. So here I am, Manteca, California, Coffee with the Masters. Okay, let's start by interviewing the founders, Stephen Barbieri, Harry Mock, and David De Jesus. Why don't you come on over here and talk to me?
It just all started with David, myself, and Steve wanting to get together and have some coffee and spend some time together. We've lived, so close to each other, and as we started spending more time together, we started inviting other people, and then we thought, you know what, this is not a bad idea. Let's start a Facebook page, Coffee with the Masters, and start inviting special guests, and one thing led to another, and here we are.
Great.
Yes, it's been a little over a year now that we've started Coffee with the Masters. It started, as Harry mentioned, with myself, Steve, and it just started growing from there, just getting together with different martial artists, talking about history, techniques, and just plain talk. And just really been enjoying it. Our group has gotten bigger and bigger. We're now asked if other people can start Coffee with the Masters groups in other cities as well. So real surprise for it. Yeah, no franchise fees at this time, but as we grow. And we're also talking about having a booth in next year's Dragon Fest. We're going to do a donation to the Martial Arts Museum, and from there, hopefully expand.
Now, Master Barbieri, you have an event coming up. Have you picked a date yet for the Alzheimer's awareness fundraiser?
We did one last year, and Don the Dragon Wilson was our feature trainer at that event. We're still working on a date for coming up. There is a walks for Alzheimer's all across the nation. For a lot of those areas, though, they're in September and October. So again, you want to contact one of your cities to see when your walk for Alzheimer's is coming up. So. Okay.
Well, I do hope you have that fundraiser again. We came up, filmed it. We had a great time that day, and so I was looking forward to it again this year. So contact me as soon as you know the date on that.
Definitely. We're working on scheduling that with Don, and then the location out there at my friend's school in Oakdale as well.
Yeah, we brought Don the Dragon Wilson to the Central Valley, Fresno, for the very first time a couple months ago. It was great, and we held it at a place called The Dojo in Madera, and they want to make it an annual event. So what are your hopes, dreams, wishes for the future of Coffee with the Masters?
Well, like we said, it started with just a small group, and from there it's really just blossomed out. We kind of try and keep it like Vegas so people feel comfortable sharing and telling stories. We have people that come that say, well, geez, I don't know anybody. I'm not going to know anybody. They sit down and they start talking. Next thing you know, I trained with your friend. I trained with your guy. Oh my goodness, I actually trained under you 10 years ago. I tested at your school. So you think you don't know anybody, but 5 minutes into the conversation, somehow there is a connection with almost several people at the table. It happens every single time. So by the time you leave, you feel like you're part of Coffee with the Masters.
That's great. All right. And I've known, well, it's wonderful. My TV show, Martial Arts Mania, opened me up to a whole new world. I mean, up until then, I only knew martial artists pretty much from my area, Fresno. I knew a few from San Francisco. You mentioned earlier Doc Fai Wong. I remember going to his Tai Chi tournaments about 20 years ago. Wow. Tap Mao Wong, his big tournaments. And I knew a few people from LA, the Wongs, Carrie and Doug, but not a lot. And all of a sudden, I started this show, and it opened up a whole new world. So I've got all these new friends, and now I'm part of this wonderful Coffee with the Masters group, and we are starting one in Fresno.
I want to say that we've had such incredible groups of people here, and one day we calculated the amount of years that each individual had and combined them together, and it was what over a thousand,
700, almost 800 years of martial arts experience just at one meeting. So all those years combined with their experiences and discussions, we're just trying to preserve the martial arts and traditions of it, and just a cultural exchange of martial arts, because for many years, martial arts was just closed to the individual schools themselves and their systems. So this is how we can all get together and show that there's a common denominator between all of us, and we all enjoy the same things. We're all doing martial arts for basically the same reasons.
And it's nice to remember the old school ways, as we say. When you hear somebody tell a story and they're like, oh yeah, that's old school. Yeah. And there, you have to be around long enough to actually even understand what that phrase means by old school as well.
When I started with John Cho, we started at the Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Association in Fresno. I mean, yet that's old school.
That's old.
That's old school. And that's exactly what I was looking for. I'd been to several other schools prior to that, but it wasn't until I did it old school that I actually felt this is real martial arts. And I'm celebrating my 30th year in martial arts this year.
Oh, wonderful.
How did you two meet?
Oh, we met umpteen years ago, and well, Alan believes that we had met at a Kowloon restaurant in Milpitas when I was there with James Hong. But actually, I think it was before then, because I remember I went to go train in a gym in Fremont because I had lived in Milpitas, and it was a small little gym, and I went and trained there, and I saw this gentleman there training, and I thought to myself, wow, this guy's in pretty good shape. And we met and found out that he was Chinese and I was Chinese, and he had given me some good props because I was in pretty good shape, and I think that's when we had first actually met, but then we reconnected, I think is how the story goes. Yeah. We reconnected at Kowloon with James Hong.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now the jury's still out on this. I've got to go a step further in my DNA testing, but I did the DNA testing for the race differentiation, so I'm part East Asian. So we're taking bets now. Am I Chinese or am I Japanese?
Oh.
I think Chinese. But then I've got a lot of Native American, and obviously they were from China.
Yes.
So that may outweigh whatever the other East Asian is. But I still think it's Chinese. I gravitated towards Kung Fu.
There you go.
I studied Mandarin in college. You know.
Oh, it's in the blood then.
I think so.
Absolutely.
I think so.
You speak Mandarin?
It's been 20 years since I took it, but you know, there's a Mandarin class at Hoover High School in Fresno, and I substitute teach, and I'm the only one that the teacher calls on. She says, I live in Fresno. We drove all the way from Fresno.
They live in Fresno now. They drove from Fresno to come here
2 hours.
to come see you.
Yes. All right. I'm going to go ahead and introduce Malia. I met her last year at a roast for Al DeCoscos. This year I'm coming down to film a roast for Cynthia Rothrock. But I don't know how we can roast Cynthia. She is so sweet. I don't have anything bad to say about her. Oh, I know. Cynthia Rothrock is short. She wears really high heels and platform shoes because I'm 5'6". And the first time I saw her without her shoes, it was like, I'm interviewing Cynthia Rothrock. Oh, there you are. So that's my roast for Cynthia Rothrock.
She's 5'3".
She's 5'3". She looks shorter than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's petite and sweet. She really is.
She's very petite.
All right. So
Yes, we are roasting her in Los Angeles, California, coming up. I'm sure all of the roasters, we have 10 of them, they all tell me they have fabulous stories
I'll bet.
and secrets about Cynthia that none of us have heard before. And I myself have a few things to throw in about Cynthia.
All right.
And so the roast will be a lot of fun. Hopefully my son Mark DeCascos will be there.
That would be
That
great.
would be brightening up the room as well.
Uh-huh.
But I am hoping that
I want to dance with him because he was on Dancing with the Stars.
he was dancing with the stars, yeah.
So I'm bringing my dancing shoes.
Bring your dancing shoes and he'll teach you a lesson or two.
I'll bet he will teach me a lesson or two.
I could bring the gloves.
So what got you started in martial arts?
Actually, I came from a family of 10. I was the baby, always was a fighter. At 22 years of age, my family gave me a gift certificate to go learn self-defense and how to use it correctly.
Great.
And I got started because of a gift.
Malia, tell us about this program that you have going on. Spend an afternoon with Malia.
Right, Malia. I've been working on this for about, maybe 6, 7 months, but it's called Spend an Afternoon with Malia. And basically, it's kind of a woman or man empowerment group where we really don't do any martial arts and we really don't do exercise. What we do is try to work on weaknesses in our own personal life.
Okay.
And I feel because I have now lived so many years and I have experienced so many ups and downs in life. I don't think there's one that I've missed, and I've been able to come out of each and every one of them. I have formed this Spend an Afternoon with Malia, where actually some of the topics are, what does age have to do with it? Because now that I am older, really, what does age have to do with anything? It doesn't. And then it teaches you maybe how to make changes in your life, because for sure I've made so many changes and I'm still standing. So how did I do it? And I think one of the ones that is the most popular is that parents, when they're young and maybe were martial artists and had big dreams about their future, and they gave up a lot in life to put their children through college or to make their home life successful, and they put themselves to the side. Then suddenly one morning you wake up and your house is empty. Your kids have gone off to college. You're there with the dog and the husband's to work, and you begin to feel sad and depressed. What to do with myself? And I am trying to build that flaw that a lot of people get in their life when their home is empty into a positive attitude to help people maybe go back to what their dream was long ago and to make it still happen, because dreams are exactly that. They're to be made and to happen. It doesn't matter what part of your life you make the dream happen. It's important to make the dream happen. So the afternoon with Malia, it'll be a traveling thing. Spend an afternoon with Malia. It can be in any town, any state. It's where someone might be interested in what I might have to contribute to the empowerment of a woman. And so that's what this is. And we have chow, we have refreshments. It's kind of a like actors workshop. Sometimes I will have a guest and they will talk about their experiences on what them pulled them up out of a rut or whatever they may have been in. So I'm wanting to get this out to women and men alike, and children who sometimes are in a rut, how to overcome and build your brighter days for tomorrow.
How can we get in touch with you? How can people get in touch with you? Go to a website?
If you go to my Facebook, Malia Bernal,
Okay.
you can find me there. Just send me a message and your contact information, and I will get back.
This is Bob Gomez. Bob, tell me where your school is.
My school's in Fremont, California.
Fremont. Okay, I've been there. Yeah, you can just hop on BART and get into the city from Fremont.
That's right. Nice and quiet place.
Great. What's the name of your school?
It's Island Style Kajikimbo.
Cool. I'm going to have to come up there and check it out sometime. I know you don't like school hoppers, but I'm going to hop.
Okay.
That's
you're welcome.
That's what I've been doing since I started this show. I get to go in and check out other styles. All right. So Ron, where did you come from today?
From Pleasanton today. It's only about 45 minutes.
Oh, that's great. And tell me a little bit about your school.
I have one in San Leandro and one in Pleasanton. San Leandro's been open since 1984, Pleasanton since 2010.
And what style?
Kajikembo is our main style, but we also teach Danzanryu, Jiu-Jitsu, and Pedoi, Derobio, Eskrima.
All right. Okay, this is Tammy Whelan. Tammy, where did you come from today?
I'm from Stockton.
Stockton, all right. That's kind of my old stomping grounds. You know who was from Stockton?
Who?
The guy who plays Wang Chi in Big Trouble in Little China, Dennis Dunn. Dennis Dunn is from Stockton. Nice. So is Maxine Hong Kingston.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if you ever read The Woman Warrior.
I didn't, but I'll have to check it out.
You will, because she writes in the book, she says, in my dreams I'm a swordswoman and I have red hair. Well, back in the day when I was doing the tournaments, I did sword, and obviously I have red hair.
Nice.
So I wrote her a letter and I sent a photo with it. And do you know I got a letter back from her?
Nice.
She says, you write well and you really ought to write about your martial arts adventures. And I thought, well, now I have a TV show. Now I have something to write about.
There you go.
So-
We'll be seeing it soon.
Tell me a little bit about your school.
My school is here in Stockton, or not here in Stockton, it's in Stockton, and then I have a couple of programs outside of it. So I have my school in Stockton, then I have a program going on in Weston Ranch in Stockton, and then I have another program here in Lathrop.
Okay, now I teach women's self-defense courses. They usually hire me at different gyms. Is that what you teach, or do you actually teach a style where you teach forms, weapons, etc.?
I teach Kajikembo.
Okay.
So I started my martial arts training in the 70s.
Okay.
And under Greg Lagera, who is Grandmaster of Crazy Dragons. And then I also got some training from Joseph Bautista in Kajikembo. So all my training is in Kajikembo.
Okay. Dennis Duarte, where are you from?
I'm from Pleasanton, California. That's where I reside. But I was born in the East Bay, Hayward.
Okay. So, how long have you been studying martial arts?
I started at 15, so I'll be 52 in about 6 weeks, so do the math. But I had about a 15-year hiatus when I was training under one person, rolled my ankle, got married, started life, and then came back to it about 10 years ago, and I trained under Professor Rhonda Stiller, who you interviewed earlier.
Okay.
And I also cross-trained under Master Instructor Harry Green out of Sacramento in combative stick and knife.
That's great. Yeah, I like what you say. I'm just a black belt, because this is my view on the whole belt system. I believe that martial arts is a lifetime journey.
Absolutely.
Just because you get the black belt, it's not like getting a college degree and when you go, okay, I have the degree, I can quit now. Because once you quit, you start regressing. So
well, I smile because it's funny. I came to that moniker, quick story. So I was at a tournament and I was walking from the restroom back to the tournament, and this young man came up and he was all dressed out in a gi, about mid-20s. This is about 4 years ago. And he goes, excuse me, he goes, are you a master? I said, pardon me? He goes, do you train? I said, yeah. He goes, are you a grandmaster? I said, no. I said, are you a master? I said, no. He goes, are you a Sifu, Sigung, Sensei? And I'm like, no. And I go, why? He goes, what are you? And I go, I'm just a guy with a black belt. And I walked away. But that stuck with me because, we all martial artists, beyond here, people who don't know us don't know anything about what we do. And I like that. I used to hate it, but now I love it because look at the people around. These are the people who are going to be carrying on traditions of warriorship to the next generations who come, because it's important for them to know how to defend themselves. At some point, we may have social unrest. History has proven this, right? So when I looked at that in the aggregate, I said, all right, what does this equate to? And it's funny you said college degree. So I have a college degree in finance from the California State University at Hayward. Does that impress you, honestly? No, because most people have it, right?
right.
You know how many black belts are in the world?
Oh yeah.
So I salute rank, but I bow deeply to knowledge. So being a part of this, just as a black belt, just lets me kind of feed that. Another story I'll share with you where it kind of calibrates everybody to it is there's an old story about a musician who's an older gentleman. He's in the studio and he just sits there and listens, right? And he's there every day, all day. And all of a sudden one of the young musicians comes up to him and says, sir, he goes, are you a musician? He goes, well, yeah, I used to be. He goes, I can't play because the arthritis, took my ability to play. And the young musician said, man, why are you still here? He goes, I got to be where the music's at. And that's me with the martial arts. So these gentlemen are kind enough and ladies are kind enough to invite me out. I come graciously, I sit, I learn, I take the crumbs, scrape them off, put them in my pocket, and then hopefully at some point down the road when I get to their level, not rank, but just in wisdom, knowledge, and caring, I can start giving back. So I'm sorry to get long-winded.
That's okay. What I was going to say is it's the fact that you are humble, I believe, that does make you a master. That's what so many black belts never reach. I'm a black belt, I can beat you up, but when someone is humble, I think that they actually get what martial arts is all about. And with me is Rick St. Clair. He's from San Francisco, California. A couple months ago, Rick sent me a blue gi top, which I would have worn today, but it's hot. So welcome, Rick.
Thank you.
You
Nice to be
came all the way from San Francisco this morning?
I did, yes.
What is it, about a 2-hour drive?
It was about an hour and a half.
That's less than we traveled 2 hours to get here.
I know, Fresno's further, definitely.
Yeah. So what's going on at your school?
Still promoting Cynthia Rothrock t-shirts. I've got a tradition shirt on now. I'm a Northern California distributor for Don Wilson and Cynthia, and sent the first one to Angola, Africa.
Wow.
Yeah, that was fun. I sent some to England and all over the U.S., so they're being shipped out.
These are fabulous t-shirts. They're not that thick, itchy, scratchy material. They're nice, they're thin, they're light, and they're beautiful. This is a tiger.
Inner Tiger. It's 60% polyester, 40% cotton.
Okay.
And it stays true to form. It's nice, very
How,
comfortable.
how can people contact you if they want to order through you?
They can contact me at my school in San Francisco at 415-665-8684, or we have the website, which is www.traditionswithaz.com.
Thank you so much, Rick. And
Yes.
it's good to see you
Good to
again.
see you again, too.
All
Thank
right,
you, Debbie.
thanks. This is Charlie Shelton. Charlie, where are you from?
Originally from Milpitas, California, but now I live in Manteca,
Okay,
5 minutes away, no long drive.
okay. And what style do you study or teach?
Taekwondo
Okay.
at MVP Taekwondo here in town. Can I just mention real quick something that's going on at my school right now?
Sure.
We had a student die Saturday
Oh my
in a tragic hit and run accident.
Oh my gosh.
Baltimore Hernandez. There is a GoFundMe page for him. I would like for people to go help out his family. He was a student instructor and an awesome young man.
That's terrible. That's terrible. So tell me a little bit, when did you get started with martial arts?
1972 in Milpitas. I lived down the street from Harry Mock, and I remember watching him working out with the swords in the high school. And when my brother come home from Vietnam, he had achieved his black belt with the ROK soldiers in Taekwondo. And he told my father that I really needed the training because I was getting picked on. And it was nice not getting picked on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I stayed with it. That's why I told people I'm a white belt that never quit. My responsibility as the rank I have now is to pass on the information that the others have given me.
Yeah. That's where I got to instructor level, and I actually started teaching women and children's self-defense about 20 years ago, and I still continue to this day.
Yes, I started teaching about 25 years ago, which was good because I didn't like kids at the time. And right after I started teaching, I met a woman that had a child, and thank God I learned how to teach and like kids.
Yeah, that's true. I teach and I don't like kids. No, I really like kids, and I understand that they go through phases just as we did, different phases of life where we can be little devils and really hard to like. So, well, thank you for speaking with us today.